check, mic check, mic check. This is important. This is very important. So I got to make sure everything is running as correctly as possible because I want y'all to know something and I want it to be as crystal clear as possible. Georgia sucks. I mean, they really, really suck. Beyond anything else I'm going to talk about in this video, hey, there's a question I gotta ask. How in the world y'all lose to Elaine Kiffin? Elaine Kiffin can't beat KFC this year. He went out and lost to Kentucky. At home. He lost to KFC at home. And then he beats the ever-living hell out of Georgia. Ole Miss, with how bad they've been this season, Ole Miss, with their 2 losses, let Georgia come in, and Ole Miss beat the ever-living hell out of you sorry-ass Georgia Bulldogs. And I'm supposed to be afraid of that? That's supposed to scare me? You better be ready, Squidtard. You better be ready. Remember that one time when Georgia beat y'all? And then the one time before that when we beat y'all? And then the time before that when we beat y'all? This is the thing. Georgia fans are the ultimate historians of the internet. Everything they talk about is a relic from the past. I swear, every Georgia fan, with how much of a gigantic blood-sucking parasite these people are, they've got to be like history majors because every time you have a conversation with them, they're talking about 1998. Remember 1998 and about how long that was ago? Remember that one time we beat y'all last year and the year before that? And then that one time before 2016 and then the time before that and then the time before that. They just keep talking about the past. That's all they talk about. That's all they can talk about. Every sport, everything they talk about is the same exact thing. Basketball, 0 Final Four, Squidtard. Tennessee ain't got a single Final Four. Georgia made a Final Four 5 million years ago during the Civil War, but we made a Final Four. Where's Tennessee's Final Four, Squidtard? Where's your recency? You don't have any. Your basketball program isn't even good enough to win the NIT. You're good enough to make the NIT Final Four. Congratulations! You must feel awfully proud of yourself. Baseball season rolls around, and Tennessee, after all the 1998 talk, Tennessee can't win a national championship in any sport. They just suck at all the sports. Tennessee wins a national title in baseball, and the goalpost gets moved again. Oh yeah? Well, nobody cares about baseball. Baseball's a stupid sport anyway for stupid people who are dumb and stupid and dumb, and they're dumb and stupid and stew-dumb too. They're just big old dumb stupid people, and baseball's a meaningless, irrelevant sport because I don't watch it because now I'm big mad. And just save the word sandwich. Georgia sucks in baseball. You don't have to use the word sandwich. Just tell everyone the truth. Georgia sucks in baseball. And you've got nothing to go off of with that now, so the best next thing you can talk about is nobody cared about baseball. Hey, remember when Georgia got a Final Four 100 years ago? That means they're better at Tennessee. That means they're better at Tennessee today. Question for you. If Georgia's basketball program is better today than Tennessee because they have a Final Four 70-something years ago where nobody cares about, does that mean that today Tennessee has a better football program than Georgia? Now, Georgia fans, you got to use the internet for this one. I know you're not all that good with that because every time Georgia loses a football game, you guys run away. You run off the internet and disappear off the face of the earth every time Georgia loses, only for it to expire once Georgia wins the next football game. Point is, go back and look on the internet and see how many national titles Tennessee has in football. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many does Georgia have? 4. 4. That's less than Tennessee. Tennessee's got 6 natties, you got 4. Look it up. Look it up. See for yourself. Even if you want to go by the, claim titles don't matter. That means Tennessee's got 4, Georgia's got 3. Say 4, 3, same result. Same result. Point proven. Tennessee's Tennessee's football program is better than Georgia because we've got more natties than you. You say how dumb that is? You say how much of an idiot you sound like when you say something like that? Good, because that's you. That's a POV of a Georgia fan. 2022 is the new 1980. 2022 has as much relevance to today's Georgia football team as 1980. And I know that makes you big mad. I know that makes you so angry and irate that people say 2022 now, because get this, you've once again been outdone by your daddy, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Did you guys know that Tennessee has beaten Alabama more times than Georgia has since 2008? There's a stat for you. Did you guys want to run around with your cherry pick stat? You think this is the most hilarious stat I've ever seen in football. Before that, of course, they got absolutely skull drugged by Lane Kiffin. Georgia fans are running around with this stat talking about Kirby Smart has an undefeated record against regular season opponents since 2019 other than teams named Alabama. They beat everybody else, but they can't beat Alabama to save their life. Yeah, Josh Heupel has beaten Alabama more times than Kirby Smart has. And he's been in there for half the time as Nick Saban had, or Kirby Smart. That's absolutely hilarious. With how much you guys want to talk about how much better Kirby Smart is as a coach, Josh Heupel has more wins over Alabama than Georgia does. Alabama's your daddy. Bama's your daddy. You can't beat Alabama. You can't. And I know that makes you mad. I know that makes you big angry. Oh yeah, what about Tennessee, Squidtard? What about Tennessee, Squidtard? What about Tennessee? What about Tennessee? Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Glad you asked. Tennessee's gonna roll all over y'all in Athens, and I'm gonna enjoy it so much. So very much. I want to talk about 2022, about how great 2022 was. You beat up on a high school team to win a national championship at a time nobody cares about. Did you guys know nobody cares about your 2022 national title anymore? It's about as irrelevant as Tennessee's baseball national championship that y'all think nobody cares about. The only thing relevant about 2022 now is that there are 2022 Georgia players getting arrested every season. You wake up in the morning and it's the same exact thing. Georgia player arrested for driving 30 miles over the speed limit. Georgia player arrested for aggravated assault. Georgia player arrested for getting into a bar fight. Georgia player arrested for this. Georgia player arrested for that. Georgia player arrested for stealing a watermelon outside of a Waffle House. They're Georgia players getting arrested for everything imaginable. And every single time, no matter what it is, there's always the lot of you to come and defend it. Every single time. It was just a misdemeanor, Squidtard. Oi, dick leg, listen. A misdemeanor is still a crime. A misdemeanor isn't just something where they're like, oh, it's just a misdemeanor. All right, well, slap you on the shoulder, you're free to go. No, that's not how it works. It's still a crime, punishable by getting kicked off the team, more than anything. Every time you corner them with this information, it's usually the same thing. It's either, well, there was this one time when you all did it too. You did it too at one time. Yes, because the one time we did it means it equals the 30 times Georgia does it within the same time span. You're right. Makes total sense to me. Georgia fans backtrack and hit the reverse so much. They hit the reverse unlike their players on the road. And no, I don't mean the road as in, like, the team goes on the road and then gets their backs blown out like they always do. No, I mean, like, they're, like, actually hitting the reverse on the actual road in Atlanta or Athens or wherever they're driving. Because you already know they're going 200 miles down on the interstate. And then, get arrested for it. And look, when I get on here and talk about Georgia players getting arrested, I'm not making fun of the players getting arrested themselves, which is bad. Yes, it's terrible. I'm not necessarily making fun of that. I'm making fun of these Georgia fans, these idiotic, clown-ass Georgia fans who the moment one of their players gets arrested, they forget all about their morals, drop them all on the ground, and basically are on their knees doing whatever they can to defend the Georgia player in question that's getting arrested. And if they're not defending him, they're going after another fan base saying, well, hey, Remember that one time this happened? That it happened at one point in time. That means we're not in trouble, right? 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 Yeah, great. Woo! Ooh. Wow. Got me there. I'm totally bamboozled now. I guess I'll just leave. I guess I'll just walk out of here. I guess I'll just walk on out. Look here. This is going to be a very great day to be a Tennessee fan this Saturday. It's going to be a phenomenal day. Obviously, Georgia's got 2 losses right now. One to their daddy, Alabama, and then another to Elaine Kiffin. Tennessee, 1. We got 1 loss. Obviously, this is a playoff. A lot of playoff implications are on the line here. A lot of them are on the line. You see this? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you know what that is. Tennessee will be bringing the mustard to Athens. And Nico, you know the name. Nico Imaliava. And if it's not him, it's going to be our boy Gaston Moore. One of those guys is going to be taking this mustard, or football, whichever one you want to insert here, and woo! Chucking it down the field. Throwing it down your throat. And Tennessee is going to dominate the Georgia Bulldogs on Saturday. And it's going to be absolutely enjoyable. Let me tell you something. Do you really think, with how well Ole Miss dominated Georgia's offensive front, you really think they're going to last a nanosecond against Tennessee's defensive line? James Pierce Jr. might have 12 sacks on Carson Beck and 17 forced fumbles. I never thought there'd come a day where Georgia fans are wishing for Jake Fromm back, but here we are. Man, Carson Beck. This dude Carson Beck, Beavis and Butthead looking Carson Beck. Let me tell you something about Carson Beck. He doesn't stand a chance with that offensive line against Tennessee's defensive line and Tennessee's defense. He's got to throw 3 interceptions like he always does, and Tennessee's defense is going to lay Georgia down to bed in their home stadium and send them home. They're going to be sitting on the couch in December in whatever meaningless bowl game they're in, reminiscing on the good times like 2022. Remember 2022? No, nobody does. It's 2024. So the college football nation, whichever fan base you're a part of, doesn't matter if you're in the SEC or in the Big Ten, or hell, you could be an FCS fan for all I care. What matters is we are going to be doing all of you a gigantic favor on Saturday, because this absolute parasitic entity known as Georgia fans are going to be wiped off the internet coming on Saturday. And you know they will. They can't handle losing. When they lost to Alabama in the SEC title last year, were they around to take their L and eat their crow? No, they weren't. They ran away off the face of the earth to come back 6 months later and talk about how the Dogs are going to dominate the college football playoffs. They're going to dominate everybody on their schedule. I don't see anything other than 12-0. I can't see a loss on this schedule. All these teams are overrated and they ain't no good. Well, now here we are in November, and Georgia is basically on life support when it comes to playoff eligibility. I got one last thing to say before I put wraps on this hate video. And this is the most hilarious part of the entire thing. Georgia fans more than anybody, since, they don't have any uniform combinations. They don't really do anything other than wear the exact same 2 uniform combos in all of their football games. Tennessee's the complete opposite. We bring a new uniform combination in every single game. And Georgia fans are the most vocal about clowning us about it. You got the gimmick offense uniform, gimmick offense, gimmick uniforms, gimmick stadium combination, gimmick checkerboard uniform, gimmick checkered stadium, gimmick blackout, gimmick... What do you think the Georgia fans are doing in this game? What are the Georgia fans doing? A blackout. Gimmick program. Georgia's bringing a blackout in the stadium. All their fans are doing a blackout gimmick uniform. Gimmick. It's a gimmick. Sanford Stadium's a gimmick. gimmick program. Everything's a gimmick. See how dumb that is? Yeah, good. I hope you do. I hope you do. This is going to be retribution. Not just for us as fans, not just for Tennessee, not just for the playoff committee, and not just for the SEC, but for college football in general. We are going to be putting an end to the worst fan base's playoff hopes. The most toxic fan base is going to have their playoff hopes come to a closing halt when Tennessee rolls into Athens and puts the absolute freaking whooping of a lifetime on the Georgia Bulldogs. Now say it with me if you want Georgia to be eliminated. Go Vols and put a whooping on Georgia, baby.